Namaste. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the goddess Badrakali. She is a form of Kali, but this form of Kali is linked to our emotional healing. So I will talk about how she helps us in the spiritual evolution process. Apart from that, you will see that she has these fangs or the teeth that are very prominent here that come out. Apart from that, you will see that her tongue is rolled out and it is dripping blood. So I will even describe her form to you so that you understand how this is linked to our healing process. This is the auspicious form of Kali and she is linked to healing. You will see that her teeth are prominent, her fangs on either sides are coming out, and these teeth, they represent our personal healing in the spiritual evolution process. The blood that is dripping from her tongue, it represents the lower animalistic instincts or the hormones that are related to the lower animalistic tendencies within us. The spiritual evolution process is a process where we are transformed from a limited being into something higher, which is divine in nature. This limited being has a lot of animalistic tendencies. Animals fight over territory, they fight over food, over a mate. Typically, these traits are displayed by every human. The reason for this is we evolved from animals and in the next lifetime we become human. When the evolution has reached a certain point, the animal is born as a human. Though there is a human form that is visible externally, a lot of the animalistic drives are still held within that person. And as a result of this, we are living typically from the lower three chakras, that is the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the stomach chakra. And the kind of hormones that are produced in our body, they keep us constantly caught up in stress, in the competition, in fear, in judgments. We are caught up in our personal stories. We identify with this body and mind. We think that we are the thoughts. We think that the acts we do, we are actually doing it. And we are deluded. We are lost in Maya. In the spiritual transformatory process, the inner alchemy unfolds. This is a process that can take many years, and during this process, our internal chemistry is changed. The kind and quality of hormones that are produced within you by the end of the transformation are of higher quality, and hence you don't get triggered easily. You don't feel like a victim. You are able to use your higher mind. You make a connection with the universe. You are able to look at life like a witness. That is where the spiritual transformatory process takes you. Here, the inner alchemy is working at a different level. The Swadistana chakra or the sacral chakra, it is linked to the chemical changes in our body, inner chemical changes. And this represents the link or the relationship you have with yourself. Whether you are your friend, whether you constantly trouble yourself, are you self-critical, are you judging yourself, do you have self-worth issues? All these things, they come from the Swadhisthana chakra. Even your attachments, your pain, your addictions, all that is not, that is allowing you to grow in life, all that, it comes out as the certain traits that are exhibited by us at the level of the Swadhisthana chakra. So here, if you look at the goddess Badrakali, you will see that the tongue is rolled out, and I told you what the meaning is. You will see a severed head in one of her hands. This represents the ego. The ego structures within us are dissolved in the process, and the goddess can help you to dissolve these egoic structures, because as long as these structures are there within us at a psychic level, we cannot evolve. We will be caught up in the limited eye. We will identify with our personal stories. We will identify with our body and this, the mind which talks constantly. So here she will help you to dissolve these structures. Apart from that, you will see that there are a lot of severed hands around her waist. These hands, they represent the thought within us, this thought which binds us with our actions. We think we are the doer, and hence we feel happy, we feel guilty, we feel like we've done something very nice or we have done something wrong. This identity within us, which is binding us with our acts, it is creating karma for us. What is karma? Karma is identifying yourself with the acts you do, the good or the bad, and hence their consequences. So coming out of karma simply means that you are in a natural flow with life. You are no longer thinking that I am the doer. Things happen. You understand that. And even the people around you, you don't bind them with their actions. You understand that there also it is just the Shakti, the consciousness that is playing out. And hence, when I am not the doer, even the other person is not the doer. You reach this level, and once you are at that level, all judgments, all accusations, all victim games, all of that, it cannot stand that higher spiritual energy or that higher vibrational frequency you're operating from. So Goddess Badrakali takes you there. The essence of your many lifetimes, your natural state, something which you express to the external world, which is authentic within you, your inner expression, this gets created over many lifetimes, and that we can call it a soul. It is here at this level in your body. When you are able to operate from the authentic self, you're expressing your true thoughts, your inner reality to the world. Now you know who you are. You cannot be deluded by what people think you are. Even somebody is trying to tell you that you're something different, you know that you're not that. You are very sure about yourself. You know yourself. And you're expressing that to the external world, which is of higher intelligence in nature. When that happens, there's a transformation that happens at the level of the sacral chakra or the Swadhisthana chakra. The transformation that happens here is the water element that is there in your Swadhisthana chakra that gets purified. And once the water element within you gets purified, because your relationship with yourself comes from Swadhisthana chakra, you now are well connected to yourself. You are no longer troubling yourself. You become your friend in the sense you understand how sacred this body and mind is. So you will not go into addictions. You will not go into certain ways where you can get caught up again into judging yourself. Here your self-worth is high. And the self-worth is high because you understand that you're the expression of the divine. The inner expression, your individual expression, it comes from the Swadhisthana chakra. And because that gets purified, and because the emotional body is also attached to your Swadhisthana chakra area, the emotions are purified. You are able to come out of all those traps, mind traps, which keep you in the lower level of consciousness. We can either work on a Swadhisthana chakra and go upwards in the process, that is also okay. Or you can work from the higher levels in your brain downwards. And that is what Goddess Badrakali does. And how does she do it? I will tell you in this video further. So here you will see that Shiva is lying under her feet and she is dancing over Shiva. The right foot is over Shiva. Here, Shiva represents the witness consciousness within us. When we move into a higher vibrational state, we are no longer getting pulled down into the lower suffering states. We are even able to look at life, even when it is very painful. You look at life as a learner because you understand that what you see outside is coming from within, inside you. When you understand that, you become a witness to the happenings of life. You're no longer getting tied up, or you're no longer investing your emotions, which are of lower order in nature, into this life, because you understand that this is just the play of consciousness. So the goddess Badrakali can take you to that level in the spiritual evolution. Your sense of personal power, it comes from the Swadistana Chakra when it is well healed. When it is healed, you can understand that you have personal power and you use this personal power with grace. So you become more beautiful in expressing yourself. How you form a connection with yourself and how you are able to relate to your near and dear. It becomes beautiful. Badrakali is a protection force. And when we work from a personal power and not from our ego, we are already protected by the universe. The heart is the seat for your auric field, or the Vyana Vayu. And the goddess, she increases the flow of the pranic energy rising up through your body. And this pranic energy, or this auric field which is moving around your body, is what protects you. She is linked to the water element. Now there is a form of Shiva. This is the five-faced Shiva. The five-faced Shiva, he represents the five elements in our body. You have earth at the Muladhara chakra. At the sacral chakra, it is the water element. At the stomach level, it is the fire element. Anahata, air element. Here comes the space element. So these five elements are there in our body, and these five elements undergo change in a spiritual evolutionary process. Now here you are seeing the five faces of Shiva. The five faces of Shiva, they represent each one of these elements: earth, water, fire, air and space. So when somebody is undergoing the spiritual transformation, they can approach Shiva in this form to quickly transform themselves, especially when the five elements in their body are undergoing the change. This subject is a different topic and I'll make another video on this, but here you have to understand that the water element or the water related phase in this particular picture here is called as Vamadeva Shiva. So Vamadeva Shiva is connected with the Swadhisthana chakra, the water element, and there are legends that the goddess Badrakali emanated from Vamadeva Shiva, because Badrakali is also linked to water element. Vamadeva Shiva is also linked to water element, and water element is linked to your emotions, and this is linked to your Swadhisthana chakra, and this is what needs to be transmuted when you are coming out of your inner pain. Because when we cry, water gets released. Water gets released when we go into fear. Many people, when they are put into extremely fearful situations, especially kids, you will see that they pass urine. Because our emotions are very closely connected to water. When we get sexually aroused, there are different kind of water release that happens within us. So the water element is linked with our sexuality, the way we communicate, our expression, our creativity, The personal power that we have, the connection with ourselves, love, arts, everything is linked to the water element. And when we are able to transmute all the lower vibrational things in our water element, we develop a strong sense of personal power, and this comes out beautifully in communication. So this is not the kind of personal power which we will use to abuse somebody. We understand the value of this personal power. This kind of a personal power, it grounds us. It grounds us, and wherever we sit, we are at peace with ourselves. We are no longer troubling ourselves. Our mind is not eating us inside. Everything is transformed inside. The pain that a person could have endured over many lifetimes, which has caused a lot of suffering, the impressions that the pain has over our mind, all that is wiped out, and we have healed. We are in this sacred protective space where we just love being with ourselves. We no longer need something from external environment to validate us. We are not seeking that. We have overcome all our self-worth issues. We have overcome the inner judging voice. We have come out of our attachments, our addictions, and we are very healthy in body and mind. Many who are not familiar with Goddess Kali, they get confused to see that she has fangs like the demons or the devils. So let me explain the difference here. When you see demons or devils or certain negative entities having fangs, what they mean to communicate to you is, I have the ability to harm you, I will want to harm you, you have to fear me, you have to surrender to me, I can abuse you, I can kill you. This is what the devil is telling a person when it is showing its teeth to the person. Even wild animals, even dogs, you will see that they show their teeth before they attack. So that is what it means when somebody is aggressively showing their teeth. But here, when it comes to the goddess, she is not conveying that meaning. The teeth of the goddess are linked to emotional healing. Your own teeth are linked to your emotional healing. And the tongue that is rolling out, that is also linked to healing. The goddess is the healing, protective energy. She gives you the courage to come or to come out of your pain, to move beyond the hurdles that are placed in your path. She gives you the ability to control your emotions and come out of the lower animal instincts within you. So any deity that you see in who has the fangs and who has a normal human face, they are linked to emotional healing. Here, this is the picture of Kala Bhairava. Even he is linked to emotional healing. So the teeth that come out in the case of deities, when they have a normal human face and the teeth coming out, they are linked to emotional healing. Any such deity can clear away or purify the water element in your Swadistana chakra, and not from the lower level. They can heal you from top down, because here at the level of the mind, or at this level, you have the thalamus. The thalamus is the manas chakra, and that is also the water element. So instead of working at the lower level, at the sacral level to heal you, Goddess Badrakali, she will heal you from this level, because the water element is present at the manas chakra. The manas chakra controls your mind. So that is here at this level, and she can heal you from that level. Now, how did I know that this is how things work within us when we have a spiritual awakening? The understanding came to me when I had a vision. I had a vision where I saw a snake, and the snake's mouth was open when I saw it, and it had four fangs, just like how it is in the picture. Now, these four fangs that you see, these represent our canine teeth. The four canine teeth we have. So the snake opened its mouth, it showed me those four fangs, and it closed its mouth. When it closed its mouth, the two fangs which are at the top of the mouth and the two fangs which are at the bottom of the mouth, they came together. When they came together like this, immediately in my head the thalamus started vibrating. It was vibrating a lot, and that was the first time where I experienced the thalamus vibrating with such a speed. It amazed me. And after that, some changes happened in my body, and immediately I came out of all my past pain, past trauma. It just vanished away like it was never there. I was totally healed. In and around this time, when my thalamus was getting activated, I was constantly seeing goddess Badrakali in my third eye. She would appear nearly every day. This is where I understood the goddess's ability to heal me instantly. So that is what I'm going to explain here, how that process happened inside of me. This is the thalamus. You will see that it is divided into two parts. The red area that you see in the brain here. Our brain is divided into two parts, the left brain and the right brain. So thalamus is also divided into two parts, the right thalamus and the left thalamus. The thalamus is your body's information relay station. All information coming in from the body's senses except for the smell. The smell route, it is different. We have five senses: taste, smell, your ability to see, touch, and ability to hear. These are your five senses. In this, if you keep the olfactory senses aside, I mean the sense or ability to smell aside, keep it aside, the pathway for that is different. The remaining four, that is taste, sight, hearing, and sensation, skin sensation, they're all directly linked to your thalamus. All the information goes to thalamus, and thalamus is like a relay station. Thalamus takes in all the information and decides where this information should be processed, and it sends it upwards into the cerebral cortex, the upper area of your brain here, where every information that is coming to thalamus is directed into a different area of the cerebral cortex for processing. Apart from that, the thalamus plays a major role in when you go to sleep, when you are awake, at what level of consciousness are you operating, your ability to learn, your memory, how you store memory, how you retrieve memory, because the ability to keep things well memorized, ability to memorize things as they are happening outside, that is your understanding of the external reality and the kind of impression the external reality has over your mind. There is not much difference. When we are not emotionally healed, we are in pain, our ability to process the information coming from the outside world, we look at it from the eyes of a victim. So we always are not able to understand the external reality correctly. We are not in the mode of a learner. Here we think we are the victim. So we can misunderstand people, we can misunderstand information. The external situation is not properly read by us, and that can further put us into victim mode. So here we are deluded. Or we can overestimate ourselves and we can think that we are very powerful and others are nothing in front of us, and that is also a different kind of delusion. So when you are able to look at life like a witness, you are learning better and you know what is important for you, what is not necessary for you. Apart from that, thalamus plays a major role in pain processing. And thalamus, as I said, is linked to the water element, your Swadhisthana chakra. This is where your personal pain is all transmuted. So, where you want to focus your attention, what catches your attention, and what information is important to you, what information you retain. In a day, we are bombarded with a lot of information. But you will notice that we don't remember all that information. We only remember that part of information which is important for us. So what is the kind of information that will come to your notice? All these things, they are decided by thalamus. And even it plays a major role in at what level your consciousness is operating. From what point of consciousness are you thinking? It processes emotions, it regulates emotions, and the thalamus, normally in an unawakened person, as I said earlier, the brain is divided into right and left brain. The neural connections between both these brains are not much, and hence people are unawakened. In the spiritual awakening process, a lot of change is happening at the level of the brain. The two brains, that is a right and left brain, they're developing new neural pathways, new neural connections. And when they are developing new neural pathways, there is more increased connectivity between the right and left brain. When that happens, you will have a lot of activity happening in the head region. It comes out as one of the Kundalini symptoms. And this increases your ability to learn from life, your ability to regulate your emotions, your ability to gain insights, to be able to access higher understanding. So when both the brains are working together, your subconscious mind opens up and you are now able to transform yourself. So in between these two parts of the thalamus, there is something called the interthalamic adhesion. This interthalamic adhesion, it has gray matter in it, and when we are spiritually awakened and when the thalamus starts vibrating, a lot of more energy transmission happens, electrical energy transmission happens through the interthalamic adhesion, as a result of which both the brains are able to communicate with each other more, and hence we can heal faster. And that is why when the thalamus gets activated, we heal faster from our emotional wounds. We come out of our personal stories very quickly. So here you can work from the level of the Swadhisthana chakra, where you're purging the water element. You have a lot of water dreams at this level, when the water element in Swadhisthana chakra is getting cleared out. Or you can directly work with goddess Badrakali by chanting her mantras, which will affect your thalamus, and hence you will get healed faster. Below the thalamus, you have the hypothalamus. This maintains the body's homeostasis. It keeps the body's inner environment stable. And it controls the temperature, hunger, thirst, water balance in the body, sleep cycle, hormonal release. So this is essentially a control center. It controls your bodily functions and processes. This is connected to your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So here you will see the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. Every person's body, on the left side is their feminine side, and on the right side it is their masculine side. So when I talk about sympathetic nervous system, the bodily processes, the right side, they all are the masculine energy. And the feminine energy is the left side, the parasympathetic, the mind. It is all the left side processes in your body. So both the left and right side processes, when they get integrated, at every chakra level, the inner masculine and feminine get integrated. As part of the spiritual evolution process, we integrate our inner masculine and feminine energies. When they integrate, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems in our body function in balance, which will allow us to spiritually grow. And at every chakra level, we are integrating the left side and the right side of the body, because of which the chakras can open up. We can express the qualities of those chakras and we can transform inside. So here you will see in the lower second picture here, bottom picture, you will see that there's a blue line, and this is the Bhayasvini Nadi. This is on the right side. The right side, it represents a sympathetic nervous system. So the Pingala Nadi is also on the right side, and the substitute of that is Bhayasvini Nadi, which is also on the right side, which goes up and ends in the right ear. On the left side, you have the Ida Nadi or the Shankari Nadi, which starts at the bottom and then it goes upwards and it ends in the left ear. Now, the first picture that you see here is the vagus nerve, the dorsal and ventral vagus nerve. The dorsal vagus nerve is connected to the thalamus and the ventral to the hypothalamus. So here you will notice that the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems which are connected to your chakras, they are all linked to the thalamus and the hypothalamus. And hence, when the thalamus heals, when it starts vibrating, the vibrations of the thalamus will affect the entire nervous system in the body, both the left and right side of your body, and hence you heal faster. Apart from that, I earlier made a video on a spiritual state. This spiritual state is called Aham Asmi, or in English you can call it I am, I exist. What is the spiritual state and how do we reach it? I made a video on this. I'll post the link to that in the description box below. Please check it out. So reaching this state, the spiritual state, I am, I exist, is like a milestone in your spiritual journey. This I am, I exist spiritual state, we experience it when our consciousness is acting from the third ventricle in our brain. The red area that you see here in the picture, that is your third ventricle area. And around this area you have the pituitary gland, the pineal gland and the hypothalamus. And the walls of this third ventricle, they are made up of the thalamus, hypothalamus and epithalamus. So within these walls of the third ventricle, we experience the state of I am, I exist when our consciousness reaches that level in our spiritual awakening process. So we can understand how the thalamus, the hypothalamus, they are linked with our experience of higher spiritual states. And the ability to transform us from the higher level is existing in the thalamus, because this is your Manas chakra. The Manas chakra is linked to your Swadistana chakra. In earlier days, we had a lot of kings in the south part of India. They would pray to Badrakali as their personal deity, and they would do it for generations together. When they would pray to the goddess Badrakali, it helped them to become a better king. And there were certain psychic abilities, certain things attached with the praying of this deity that gave them the leadership qualities required to run a kingdom. So, what does the prayer to Badrakali bring into your life? How does it heal you? And what are the changes that will happen in your life? That is what I'm going to talk about now. As I said earlier, the water element is linked to communication. So when the thalamus in your head gets activated because of your penance to Badrakali, it activates easily when you are chanting her mantra on a daily basis and when you have surrendered to her power. Here, what does a king need? The king needs power of communication because he will use this communication to motivate people. He will use this power to control people. People have to respect him. They should look up to him. They should not think of him as a fool or an ignorant man. He should come out as a wise person who has the emotional control, who is able to process information correctly, emotions correctly. He should feel respected. He should have high self-worth. He should be able to understand himself and others around him. He must be a good decision maker. He should know when to talk, and where to keep silent. He should know what he is talking, so his knowledge should come from a higher level. He should be able to come out of his own emotional pain. He should have the courage. He should be able to understand power dynamics. He should know how to handle his power with grace. He should have high convincing abilities, high intellectual capability. And he should be his own friend. He should not indulge in too much negative talk, or he should not self-deprecate himself. He should know how to use the power of anger constructively. He should know when he is being deluded, when he is being sidetracked, when he is being taken for a ride. He must be able to sense who his foes are, who his friends are. He should not be ruled by lower animalistic tendencies. He should be able to rise beyond his personal stories to become an effective leader. He should be the leader who can lead people. There will be other members, royal members who are working for him. There could be the other kings who are working under him. He must be able to instill the fear, the idea within them that he can control everything, that he is worthy of the throne. And everybody should accept him as the indisputable leader. He should be able to conduct himself with confidence. He should have the right mental health, the physical valor, the courage, the strength to fight wars. He should be good at strategic management. He should be able to take decisions boldly. He should be able to provide solutions for problems and not become part of the problem. He should think about his people. He should not work just for himself. If he works only about himself, he is only concerned about keeping the wealth for himself, where everybody is crying in the kingdom, then he is a failed king. This king should rise above his personal greed. He should think about uplifting the people of his nation. He should put resources to best use. He should know how to influence people, how to bring people behind him as an army. Many kings would align themselves to deities because from the deities they would get the power to rule. As their power increases, their popularity increases, the name and fame increases, their words have power. With the mere saying of a sentence, they can motivate an army to fight a war. So the king's words should have powers. They should have influence over people. They should have a good image, good name, fame. Their enemies should fear them. And a king should know where to focus in life. He should have goals for his people as to how he will make things better for the society or for the people that are there in it. He must be able to instill confidence in the people. All procedures, processes in the kingdom, administrative, judiciary, everything should run smoothly. So he should be able to control everything. And all these abilities, apart from that, the king must be able to protect himself. His auric field should flow strong. What is the auric field? The auric field is the Vyana Vayu. The seat of it is in the heart and it flows, it comes about 2 finger width from here out of your head. It flows all around your head. And as long as this is flowing very nicely, you're protected. You get a lot of opportunities. You're in flow with life. Things work out in your favor. You're lucky when this is flowing very nicely. And this is what protects you from negative eye, from people who have negative intentions towards you. This is your personal protective shield, and the king needs it. And he gets all these things from praying to goddess Badrakali, because all these things are linked to the proper functioning of the thalamus. And the goddess Badrakali, she can immediately increase the vibratory force in your thalamus, the Manas chakra. That is where her stamp is, on your Manas chakra. The picture that you see here is of the Agya chakra. The Agya chakra is here. So the eye shape that you see at the bottom is the Agya chakra, third eye region here. And just above it, you have the Manas chakra. The Manas chakra is your thalamus. This is what is linked with the water element. It is linked to your inner creativity, your communication, your ability to be comfortable in your own skin, the sense of self-worth. Everything comes from the thalamus. And all the benefits that accrue to you because of thalamus functioning properly, I just explained to you with the example of a king. When the thalamus starts vibrating within you, you heal from many lifetimes of trauma. Very quickly you will heal. And you'll never revert back to those painful memories again. Total complete healing. You become an effective leader, effective communicator. You develop certain arts. You are able to now channel your energies in the right direction in the world. You can create things. Generally, people have a mission when they complete the spiritual awakening process. And when you're emotionally healed, you're able to do your mission on earth. Especially those with post-traumatic disorder, where people experienced lot of trauma, and even after the trauma is over, the memories of those trauma is still haunting them. Even those type of memories get wiped away when the thalamus gets activated. The thalamus linked to your water element, and hence in India on special days, on certain full moon nights, because moon is also linked to water element, we undertake baths in sacred rivers, in sea. We have water fasting rituals because the water heals, especially when we are dealing with very dense emotions. Spring water bath, Epsom salt water baths, sea water bath, river water bath. Bathing a lot can heal you because it is purifying your inner water element. And hence, when we have a nice refreshing bath and come out, suddenly we notice that the pain is gone. Emotional pain, it goes into the background because we had a lovely refreshing bath. The mind is always represented as water. Here you will see the various levels of mind. The top mind, which is the conscious mind, which is above water. This is the mind which we access in our wakeful states, and we are aware as to what is there in this part of the mind. But 97-98% of your mind is not open. It is the subconscious and unconscious mind. When we're in wakeful states, we cannot look into the subconscious mind because it is locked. It is not open. But when you have a spiritual awakening process, subconscious mind opens up. And a lot of our deeply held, you could say, thinking styles, attachment styles, our dark side, our potential, everything is hidden in the subconscious mind. The stories of many lifetimes is there in the subconscious mind. And that is what comes out to be healed in the spiritual awakening process. So here you will see it is the water element. And the water element needs to be purified. And hence, as part of your spiritual awakening process, when the Swadhisthana chakra is cleansing out, you will have a lot of water-based dreams. Now, here you have the picture of your body. The central part where you see the Om, this is your individual consciousness. Your individual consciousness is enveloped in 5 different sheaths. The innermost being the Anandamaya Kosha, which is the bliss sheath. This you will experience in states of Samadhi, where you will feel that bliss in your body. It comes from here. This is the bliss body. Then comes the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha is an intellectual sheath. The higher aspect of the Vijnanamaya Kosha is your connection to higher intelligence, the universal mind, from where you're channeling a lot of information, a lot of downloads are coming to you, energy downloads are coming to you, the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And then the lower part of the Vijnanamaya Kosha is the thought body. Then comes the Manomaya Kosha. This is your emotional body, and this is where the Swadhisthana chakra is linked to, the water element. Then the pranic sheath, where you experience the pranic movements, Kundalini, the lotuses, everything are a part of the Pranamaya Kosha. And then comes the Annamaya Kosha, which is your physical sheath. So here, when I talk about the water element, I'm talking about the emotional body or the Manomaya Kosha. And this is what is linked to your thalamus and to your Swadhisthana chakra. So the Swadhisthana chakra is the second chakra from the down up. The orange color petaled chakra here, which is linked to your water element. Now, I noticed something after my thalamus got activated. I healed faster, and my dreams were all healing dreams. The reason was, when we experience the dream state in our sleep, this is called the REM sleep state. When we are experiencing dreams, we are actually acting out our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, which is not accessible to us normally, here you can see the subconscious mind. You cannot access it normally. But this comes into our experience. All the things that are there, the themes of the subconscious mind, come out to play in our dream state. It reveals itself to us. And what I understood is, when we are about to go into that REM sleep state where we're about to start dreaming, there's a small thing that happens inside of our mind that is called as sleep spindle. What are these sleep spindles? Sleep spindles are bursts of bioelectrical energy, and these happen during the REM sleep. So when the sleep spindles are bursting in your head, your memory consolidation, your sensory processing, dream states, they all are happening in your mind. And because all these things are happening together, and because these sleep spindles are produced by a thalamus, and when your thalamus gets activated, just through the bursting of these sleep spindles, along with the kind of dreams where you are healing, that is enough to heal you from lifetimes of trauma. Even your ancestral trauma, which you are carrying in your DNA as ancestral curses, even those get healed. When the thalamus gets activated, the pain processing happens so fast, the healing happens so fast, you can get healed in 2 to 3 days. Where you were struggling all your life to heal yourself and you understood that healing is not a linear thing. Here it goes on. You again repeat that cycle after cycle after cycle of cleansing is happening when you're working from the level of Swadistana chakra. But when your thalamus gets activated, or when the activation and working of that energy is happening from the level of thalamus, the ability to process pain quickly and permanently is very fast. And this is what the Badrakali goddess does to you when she activates your thalamus, when you are in surrender to her, when you chant her mantras, when you do her sadhana, or even Kal Bhairav sadhana, your thalamus gets activated. When we have a spiritual awakening process, we go into naturally drowsy states. These drowsy states are not induced by any substance. These happen naturally, where we go into a deep drowsy state, like your eyelids have become heavy, you can't even keep your eyes open. You just have to close your eyes and just sit, and it is a very drowsy state. What is happening here in this state is you are healing. Because what I noticed in my own process is the theta waves, these are the brain waves that are produced in our brain, and they mean something. Some change is happening in your body, and related to what type of change is happening, that type of wave is running through our brain. So what I noticed is when the subconscious mind opens up and when the contents of the subconscious mind are coming out, I was spending a lot of time in a drowsy state. It made no sense to me because I don't indulge in any kind of substance use, but still I would be caught up in the kind of a drowsy state for hours together. For me, it would be very difficult to rub aside this drowsy state and come back into a normal wakeful state. It was at times very difficult for me, and this drowsiness would again pull me back into that drowsy state. And that is when I realized that when I'm in the drowsy state, a theta wave brain activity is working majorly in my head. And that is what is working when you have sleep spindles. I just spoke about the REM sleep, where sleep spindles get released in your mind, bursts of bioelectrical energy. This happens in the theta wave state. So when you are not sleeping, but when you are in this deep meditative theta wave state, or when you're listening to theta wave music, you will heal. Because at this level, the thalamus is active. When the thalamus is active, you can, because this is where, thalamus is where your pain is processed. And hence you can heal faster. As I said earlier, the thalamus is linked. Both the thalamuses, which are in either part of the brain, they are linked by a interthalamic adhesion, a kind of a bridge between both of these thalamuses. And when the bioelectric energy is flowing more through this interthalamic adhesion, both brains are working as a unified unit. You heal faster. You can come out of all your personal pain and trauma just like that. And now you're working from a higher vibrational state. So when we are living in pain, when we are identified with this limited body and mind, we see ourselves as a victim. Our ability to process information correctly, our ability to remember, retrieve facts correctly, everything becomes distorted. Hence, we find that only we suffer. But others around us are oblivious to our suffering. Many might think that you're having a good life. And when you tell them that, no, I'm suffering, they'll be surprised as to why you're suffering. Because when our consciousness is muddled, We cannot make sense of ourselves, we cannot make sense of the external reality. We trust the wrong people, we doubt the right people. You're not sure about life. We have no confidence in ourselves or in our life. We become part of the problem rather than being part of the solution. And this only increases the pain in our body. So to start with, many do not have a healthy life. Many may have gone through a lot of trauma. If you have a healthy mind, spiritual awakening process is very easy when compared to those who have to first deal with their own personal trauma. So the personal trauma makes the spiritual path difficult because now you have to deal with all that baggage. But once you understand that you can heal, and this is a kind of a permanent healing that comes out because the thalamus is activated. And when you focus more on the thalamus, and once you get the thalamus to vibrate, your manas chakra gets activated, the healing happens very fast. The thalamus is linked to your face through the trigeminal nerve. You can see the trigeminal nerve branches in your face. Here it is more clear. So one branch goes down like this, which is called the mandibular nerve. One goes like this, which is the maxillary nerve. Okay, and there's one that goes into the eyes. So what has this got to do with your inner healing? I was speaking about the canine teeth, the fangs of the goddess, the tongue of the goddess. Why is it coming out of her mouth? So to understand that and how it is linked to healing, you have to understand this. So the trigeminal nerve, it carries sensory information about touch, pain, temperature from the face, surrounding area. It sends this information to the thalamus. And the trigeminal nerve, it even provides information about facial movement and touch or pain in the face to the thalamus. So to understand how pain is processed and why the face, mouth is important in pain processing is because your pain, your ability to experience pain, it all comes from the Talu chakra. The Talu chakra is behind your uvula in the spine. The Talu chakra is represented as the blue dot in the picture here. That is the position of the Talu chakra. In the Talu chakra, you have the Ashtamatrikas, the 8 great goddesses, and these goddesses, they give you the ability to experience various emotions. If one is able to experience anger, jealousy, happiness, attachments, it could be the sense of longing. If you're able to experience all these emotions, it is because of the Ashtamatrikas that are there in the Talu chakra region. So here you have to understand that the Talu chakra region, the mouth, the teeth inside of it, the teeth, they hold repressed emotions within us. For example, you have repressed a lot of pain. That pain is stored in your teeth. So the pain processing happens at the level of Talu chakra, your mouth, the teeth, the tongue, the face. This is where most of the pain processing happens. Our mouth region, if you see, it is hollow inside. There is nothing passing through it. There is no nerve that is passing through your mouth. The inside cavity of the mouth, it is empty. And because it is empty, and because a lot of pain processing happens in your face, for example, you see the trigeminal nerve coming like this. You can see the nerve coming like this here and this side like this, both right and left side. But the trigeminal nerve, they are not meeting. It is not meeting like this. But it is stopping. This left side and right side are stopping separately. They stop here. They're not coming together. So there's a gap between the two ends of the nerves. So in a way, the communication is not flowing properly. And then you have the mouth, which is hollow and empty. So no communication is happening through it. Because of all that, we cannot process pain effectively. Our emotions are repressed. We cannot understand ourselves. We cannot release the pain from our system effectively. But in a spiritual awakening process, what happens is when your thalamus gets activated, and thalamus is linked to your trigeminal nerve. So what happens here is when the trigeminal both sides come and stop here, okay, like this, lot of bioelectrical energy starts flowing through the trigeminal nerve. And when it flows to the trigeminal nerve, and when the nerves are full of the bioelectrical energy, you feel a lot of electricity inside your face, inside your teeth, your tongue, all of them are electrified. So when these nerves, they are like this, the electrical energies from both the nerves, it creates vortices on your face. The two nerves that end here, they create an electromagnetic field here where now there is a vortice, energy vortice, which is turning around like this, rotating here in this place. And through this energy vortice, these two nerves communicate. Now there is this communication between both the nerves. In the same way, at this level also, the bioelectrical energy that is flowing through these two nerves creates a connection like this. You'll feel energy flowing like this, from this side to this side, from this side to this side, and then there's an energy vortex flow rotating in this region. So what happens is the bioelectrical energy field that gets generated because of the electricity flowing through the facial nerves, it creates a medium through which both the nerve endings can communicate with each other. So until now, the nerve endings were not communicating with each other effectively. Now there is a field through which they can communicate. So the pain processing is happening beautifully now with the connection that is happening between these nerves. Apart from that, a lot of our emotions, as I said earlier, are stored in our teeth, and hence when people have undergone a lot of trauma, you will notice that they have a lot of dental issues. I'm not talking about hygiene here, but even when a person is hygienic and but they have a lot of trauma held in their system, the teeth issues will be there. You will notice people clenching their teeth or grinding their teeth or just chattering their teeth, even in sleep. When somebody undergo a lot of pain and trauma, they will have clenched jaws. They will hold their jaw very tight together. Even in normal wakeful condition, they will not let the jaw to drop into its normal position. They will hold it very tightly. That is because the emotion of pain is stored in their teeth, and that is how it is expressing itself. So we can even have dreams like teeth are crumbling and falling out. This also represents that you are holding a lot of pain and the pain is getting released. Apart from that, even when we receive initiation from our gurus, you will have these dreams where the teeth are falling out. So the trigeminal nerve, when it starts connecting through these energy fields and flowing throughout, now the energy is flowing throughout the face. When this happens, your teeth are totally electrified, because if you look at the mandibular nerve, which is going down like this, it is going into your teeth, and the maxillary nerve is going downwards into your upper jaw. So now there is a lot of upward and downward flow of bioelectrical energy. So your teeth get totally electrified. When your teeth get totally electrified, understand that all repressed emotions are being dealt with. Your emotional body has got cleansed. And only when your emotional body gets totally cleansed, that is when a lot of electricity is experienced in the teeth. And your tongue gets electrified. The upper palate in your mouth, there is a chakra which starts rotating there, and your mouth becomes sweet, especially the canine teeth. the canine teeth, you will feel more energy flowing through the 4 canine teeth in your mouth. So this energy that is flowing into your teeth from top down and from bottom up, when you bring your teeth together in the mouth, it creates a direct flow from down upwards in your face, inside of your face. So now your teeth are also channeling this electrical energy and become part of that field which is healing you. It becomes part of the healing process. And especially the canine teeth, they have the most amount of electrical flow. The goddess, you will say that she has a canine teeth coming out as fangs. So the canine teeth are very important in emotional healing. When the canine teeth are flowing with a lot of electrical energy and you bring them together like this, a flow is created, a string of flow is created. And that movement of energy happens. And when that movement of energy happens freely in your mouth, in your face, your ability to process pain is very high. When this is happening, you will notice a lot of electricity in your jaws. Tongue is electrified. Tongue tip is electrified. You will notice when the tongue rests normally in your mouth, it touches the upper palate. A link is created from the tongue to the upper palate. An electrical flow of energy is moving upwards. And even the eyebrows, this area here, you will have some vortices on your face. Skin, you will have slight skin burning sensations on your body because thalamus is linked to pain processing and it is linked with the skin also. So at this point, as all the pain is getting relieved, you will have sweetness in the mouth because the negativity which was there within you is getting erased. Now, what is the sweetness that we experience in mouth or in life? Because Swadistana is a chakra, is your taste of life. When your taste of life is sweet, that sweet taste will come in your mouth. And the sweet taste comes in your mouth when the pain is healed. When your inner negativity is gone. When negative people are gone from your life. Negative situations which caused pain go out of your life. So here you have to notice that the Talu chakra, the teeth, the trigeminal nerve, the tongue, they all are coming together with extra connections between them because of the electrical flow, and all this together as a whole heals you. And this is linked to your thalamus. When this happens, there is a change in that person. The person is able to channel higher energy. They suddenly say things they have not thought through what they are saying. It's like they are channeling some higher language where they suddenly start speaking wise words. They might say things like, no, this is my last lifetime on earth, or this is what is right about life, or this is what is wrong about the situation. They gain this amazing insights about life, and it is not like they're thinking and talking. Those wise words are flowing through them. They're able to channel it. So here they're able to make connection with something higher within themselves, and they're able to channel the knowledge into the external world. They feel a very high level of personal freedom which they did not feel earlier. At this point in time, they have a mission on earth, and now they know what that mission is, and they want to work in fulfilling their mission on earth. So they feel not only healed, but they derive a sense of deep satisfaction by helping others around them. So one more thing that I noticed at this level is the thalamus. As I showed you in the earlier pictures, it is divided into two parts. Now, because of the higher bioelectrical flow in the thalamus, both the thalamuses more energy exchange is happening between both of them. It is like they're getting unified inside of your head. That kind of an electrical sensation where the thalamus resides in your head, you will feel it. And then you will feel like something like a rod is coming out of here like this, like it how it is in the picture. This is both the thalamus unifying. That feels like some kind of a invisible rod is emanating from the top of your head, and that invisible rod is going up higher up somewhere into the skies. It feels something like that. So when you experience this, understand that your thalamus has healed. And in a way, after thalamus gets healed, you're connected. You feel like you're connected to some kind of a higher power. Another thing that I notice here is earlier, before, when I was in low vibrational state, anything would anger me, I would hold on to that anger for a while. I did not know how to process it, how to transmute it. But once the thalamus is activated and it is healthy, if something outside of you is causing anger inside of you, immediately that anger gets transmitted. You don't hold on to that lower emotion called anger like you used to hold on to it in earlier unawakened days. So what happens here is that anger comes into your system. Immediately you will feel an energy vortex rotating in your stomach, which is the samana vayu. When this energy vortex starts rotating in your stomach, you will notice that this anger is going upwards. It is moving upwards into your system. It reaches this place, and there it gets immediately transformed into a lesson or into some other kind of form where maybe anger is transmuted into empathy, understanding, or maybe forgiveness. So the anger as such is not held in our system. We are able to pull up, or automatically the body takes up the energy into higher mind, because here the division of the higher and lower mind have been wiped out, because the water element which is there in the Swadistana chakra, and here the thalamus. So the emotion is being carried quickly into the head region, and there you see that it turns into some kind of a release or a kind of a learning. So here lower vibrational states within you are getting magically transmitted into something higher which will benefit you. So here it does not matter to you anymore whether the external reality is bringing you pain or whether it is bringing you joy. If it is joy, it is comfortable for you. If it is pain, you're still gaining from it because it is becoming some kind of an inner learning. So you're open to both pain and joy. You don't differentiate here now because you know how to handle both the situations. You become a master of life. And as I said earlier, the auric field also starts flowing very strongly here. Because of this strong auric field, the person is well protected. And his life or her life on earth is coming to an end. Their existence over many lifetimes will very soon come to an end at the completion of the process. But then things just start working because now they're more aligned to the universe. They feel connected to the universe. They're in flow with life. They're no longer resisting life here. And they can tap into their inner potential as a creator because they have understood their inner world. When the thalamus got activated, they know themselves and they know how to process pain easily, so pain does not bother them anymore. So when you have connected to the grounding energies of earth, when you are internally grounded because you have emotionally healed yourself, you can easily go into the witness state. But even here, people can fall from this level of vibrational conscious state when they misuse these powers. The sadhana to Badrakali can give you a lot of psychic abilities, and hence in earlier days kings would do her sadhana, because it would make them an able leader. I described all the benefits of that will accrue to a king when they do Badrakali sadhana. So they come to us when we do Badrakali sadhana. And not just this, other psychic abilities also come when we do Badrakali sadhana. But it is very important to maintain your integrity here. If somebody wants to misuse the power or overuse the power that they have received as blessings from the goddess, in exchange for worldly things, they can fall from grace also. So, as long as they're focused on the goddess, it keeps a person from falling down. When this level is reached in your spiritual evolution, when you do sadhana to Badrakali, you will not fall down from that level. You will reach further higher states in the spiritual awakening process. So the sadhana of Badrakali, her mantra is given here. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Badrakali Kapalini. This is her mantra. The goddess can be invoked through mantra chanting, and once she enters your life because of your sadhana or austerities, she will heal you emotionally. And this kind of an emotional healing happens at fast pace because she is not working from the level of Swadhisthana chakra. Yes, she is connected to your Swadhisthana chakra, she is connected to the water element, but she is working from the level of the thalamus. From the top down, the ability to heal yourself faster is, when compared to the working from the down up, that is from the Swadhisthana chakra upwards, it is easier to heal when you start working from the thalamus region down. Namaste.